Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Mayor Peduto, Grant, and Claire and staff for having me here today. It's an honor to be here and certainly excited to talk to you a little bit about Rare Earth Pacific and what we do. Before we get into that, though, I thought it'd be good for everybody to know that I actually live in the city of Baltimore, Maryland, and I know how that can be, considering our competitive rivalries, but I did grow up in Western Pennsylvania, so I am a huge Steelers fan, and I just wanted to avoid any dirty looks while I do my presentation. So I met Grant out at the MWMA conference in San Diego, and he asked me to come and talk a little bit about who we are, what we do, our experience, and how maybe we can help here at the city of Pittsburgh. So who we are, Rare Earth Pacific's a company that's been in business for 101 years. We're a family-owned business. We operate in multiple industries. The supply chain solutions business, helping a lot of the major CPG companies get their products to the stores. We're a leader in the environmental space, dealing with solid waste and recycling initiatives. A lot of what we do is provide sustainable and renewable packaging for our customers and turnkey solutions. And today we have over 30 million recycling containers on the street in over thousands of communities throughout North America. As you can see by our footprint, we've got 7 manufacturing facilities and 12 service locations in the U.S., closest being here in Erie, Pennsylvania, just up the road. So what do? We provide comprehensive solutions that optimize our customers' business operations. That's everything from the curbside collection containers used in residential and commercial applications for a number of streams: solid waste, recycling, organics, yard waste. We have a whole line of sophisticated technology and services that help our customers to deploy and implement these projects, but also to track their progress over time. I'm not going to get into a lot of those details because I think we want to get into more about what we've learned. What we've learned is that if you remove the confusion, frustration, and complexity of a program, people will do it. If you look at some of the key components that we have here in terms of what actually contributes to a successful recycling program, things like consistency, collection frequencies, making sure that people know when their container is going to be picked up. Make it very clear as part of your education plan. If you can do it weekly, you'll see benefits. If it's every other week, let's keep it on the same day every other week. Convenience is probably the most important. Convenience really comes down to having a place to put your material. It's not asking the residents to do more to recycle. It's making it easy for them and keeping it user-friendly. So what you can see is, in a lot of the programs, if you have like an 18-gallon recycling bin, they run out of space, the rest of that material goes in the trash. You ask them to put it in a bag, they put it in the bag, they run out of bags, the rest of the material goes in the trash. So these are the things that happen over and over again. And I'll show you some results from programs that have gone to larger containers for curbside recycling, what those results look like. Education. Education is extremely important on the front end. It's also important on the back end. You need to continually educate. Changes in program, materials that you're collecting or whatever it might be, your different messaging. We have ways to engage the consumer through technology on our products, allow them to interact with a container, bring them to sites, give them graphics on the container that tells them what goes in the bin, when it goes in it. And also our technology allows us to track who's participating in programs and who isn't. And it'll allow you to target your education efforts towards the lower participating neighborhoods and constantly driving your recycling over time. So here are some results. I took 4 programs here, and most of these programs all had a curbside recycling bin. So they had an established curbside program similar to what we have in the city of Pittsburgh. They then went to larger 65 or 95-gallon roll-out containers at the curb. And the tonnage increases that you'll see by going from a bin to a cart for Miami-Dade County, Florida, 99% increase in tonnage. 68% for Colorado, for Denver, 54% for Frederick County. And in a pilot program we did, we took a sampling in 10,000 homes down in the city of Atlanta. They increased by 77%. That pilot program actually led them to then go citywide with curbside recycling program. And we'll get back to that in a minute. Some of the other things, in an article that was posted by Madison, Wisconsin, they also saw significant increases in their tonnage, but they also pointed out things such as the reduction in greenhouse gases. And it was equivalent to removing 8,700 cars from the road. They also have reduced the amount of waste going in their landfill by 12%, so overall extended the life of the landfill. And total savings, when you look at collection operations and becoming more efficient, there's several options out there. There's workman's comp savings. There's no more manual collection at the curb, which can result in injury. So what do we do? What areas would we evaluate for the city of Pittsburgh? Similar areas. You look at how does the increase in material tonnage that we could get from a containerized program build additional revenue from your MRF. Every ton we divert, that's one less disposal cost that you have to pay. And those numbers can be staggering depending on the financials here in the city of Pittsburgh. Lower operational and transport costs to landfill. So I understand there's 2 landfills in the city, and they're pretty far apart from each other, but we have a MRF that's close by. So for every 10 tons that you divert from the landfill to a MRF, that's one less trip that you're going to make to the landfill. So you're going to see some transportation cost savings. Decrease in workman's comp cases. What are they today? Where are they coming from? How many are actually related to the collection of curbside recycling and bags? We can prevent that. Containerized program will prevent anything from protruding out, cutting or hitting your drivers. It'll also easily lift itself and reduce liabilities in the future. Operational efficiencies. There's various collection equipment out there that you can utilize, all of which can have a different impact on operational efficiencies. It's something we need to look at. And then finally, we can look at extending the life of the landfill. What does that mean for the city of Pittsburgh, and is it something we want to pursue further? So those are the areas I would say to consider as you look at a program. But then you would want to take another analysis and look at what are the financials for the city and does it make sense. So we put it on paper, and then the logical next step could be a pilot program. So you've got a pilot program which then validates what we actually estimated in our numbers, and then similar to the city of Atlanta has prompted them to move forward with a citywide program. So a couple things as you look at putting a program together. One would be procurement, right? So how do we buy the containers, maybe through a procurement process? In that area, the state of Pennsylvania has a CoStarz contract. It's a cooperative purchasing contract. A lot of containers and this type of technology is on there and can be procured off of that contract. And then more importantly, the question is funding. So how do you fund a program? I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Closed Loop Fund. They started marketing themselves here recently. The Closed Loop Fund is a fund that was actually backed by Walmart and founded by Ron Gonen. Ron was a founder of Recycle Bank. He also was a deputy commissioner of the City of New York. He implemented the City of New York's curbside organics program. People consider him a recycling guru. So Ron and Walmart got together, and they're trying to create a way to build up the availability of recycled material, because Walmart would like, for a lot of the CPG companies that work for Walmart today, to increase the amount of recycled material that they put in their products. But the challenge is that the availability of material isn't there. So what do? They created a closed loop fund. A lot of the CPG companies invested in this fund. It's a $100 million fund today. And what they're doing is they are actually giving zero interest loans to cities to build out infrastructure. That infrastructure is in containers, it's in collection vehicles, it's in MRFs and processing. And really the liability is to just return the principal of the loan over a certain period of time that you negotiate. The benefit to the people that are as part of the fund and providing the money is the increase in availability of material that then they will have access to put into their products, which is actually very similar of how we operate. So Rarick Pacific today, we process 55 million pounds of post-consumer recycled material that a lot of it is collected from curbside recycling programs to reuse it in our products. And so, we have a facility in Erie, Pennsylvania, and we could easily capture material from the local MRFs here, the HDPE we need, reproduce it into our products, and then reuse it. So it's a complete closed loop system, and that's what the closed loop fund is trying to do, is build up the infrastructure so we can all have availability of more material that's valuable to a lot of our companies here that manufacture not only in the US, but here even in the state of Pennsylvania. And so with that, Rarick Pacific would love to further discussion on how we can work with the city of Pittsburgh and close the loop. Thank you.